Jean-Francois Champollion, child prodigy, father of Egyptology. Jean-Francois Champollion was born December 23, 1790, the last of 7 children to Jacques Champollion and Jeanne Françoise. His parents were largely absent figures in Jean-Francois' life, leaving him to be raised primarily by his older brother, Jacques-Joseph, who was 12 years his senior. At the age of just 10, Jean-Francois left home and moved in with Jacques-Joseph. His older brother, though working to support them both, found time to teach Jean-Francois how to read and supported him in getting a more rounded education. Jacques-Joseph decided to send his younger brother to the well-regarded school of the Abbé du Sartre in November 1802, where Champollion would stay until the summer of 1804. During this period his gift for languages became evident. He started out learning Latin and Greek, but quickly progressed to Hebrew and other Semitic languages such as Ethiopic, Arabic, Syriac, and Chaldean. It was at this time that French culture experienced a period of Egyptomania, brought on by Napoleon's discoveries in Egypt during his campaign there from 1798 to 1801. Jean-Francois was likewise swept up in the craze and soon became very interested in all things Egypt. At age 11 he came to the attention of the prefect of Grenoble, Joseph Fourier, who had accompanied Napoleon Bonaparte on the Egyptian expedition which had discovered the Rosetta Stone. An accomplished scholar in addition to a well-known mathematical physicist, Fourier invited the 11-year-old Champollion to his home and showed him his collection of ancient Egyptian artifacts and documents. Champollion was enthralled, and upon seeing the hieroglyphs and hearing that they were unintelligible, he declared that he would be the one to succeed in reading them. In 1804 Jean-Francois studied at a lycée in Grenoble, but hated its strict curriculum which only allowed him to study languages 1 day per week, and he begged his brother to move him to a different school. Nonetheless, at the lycée he took up the study of Coptic, which would become his main linguistic interest for years to come and prove crucial to deciphering hieroglyphs. In order to further his education, Jean-Francois went to Paris, and from 1807 to 1809 he studied under Sylvestre de Sacy, the first Frenchman to attempt to read the Rosetta Stone. Under Sacy he perfected his Arabic and Persian, in addition to the languages that he had already acquired. In 1808 he first began studying the Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone is a large slab of stone with an inscription in 3 languages on it: Greek, Demotic, and hieroglyphs. While Greek and even hieroglyphs may be familiar to us, the Demotic language, or the language of the people, refers to the cursive-like simplified symbols that were used by everyday ancient Egyptians. In just a year, Jean-Francois was able to decipher the Coptic equivalents of 15 Demotic signs present on the Rosetta Stone. In 1821 and 1822 he started publishing papers on the hieroglyphic and hieratic elements of the Rosetta Stone, and he went on to establish an entire list of hieroglyphic signs and their Greek equivalents. This small step towards deciphering the previously unintelligible symbols opened up a world of possibilities for Jean-Francois and his colleagues. Later in life, Jean-Francois became curator of the Egyptian collection at the Louvre in 1826, conducted an archaeological expedition to Egypt in 1828, and received the chair of Egyptian antiquities, created specifically for him, at the Collège de France in 1831. Unfortunately, he did not remain in his last position for long, as lifelong ill health stopped him from lecturing. Jean-Francois died of a stroke in Paris on March 4, 1832, at the age of 41. Through his single-minded exploration and breakthrough discoveries that unlocked the secrets of ancient Egypt, Jean-Francois became known as the father of Egyptology. Without his important contributions, we may still be struggling to decipher hieroglyphs today. Jean-Francois had 2 major mentors in his life. First, and his greatest mentor, was his brother, Jacques-Joseph, who provided him with a secure home life, supported his education, and financially supported him for the majority of his life. The other mentor would be Joseph Fourier, who encouraged the young boy's love of ancient Egypt and became one of his most important professional allies and supporters. While our text, Talented Children and Adults, Their Development and Education, does not specifically mention children who are talented polyglots, it does provide information on children who are verbally talented. These children often have strong, long-term memory skills, see things holistically, and have deeper comprehension than average peers. Interestingly, the text continues in Chapter 7 to say that verbally talented students seem to perform better when a task is new and novel. Jean-Francois embodied these traits with his ability to commit to memory, recall, and utilize nearly 12 languages, and of course, his interest in the Rosetta Stone and unlocking hieroglyphs. If I had a student talented in language like Jean-Francois Champollion, I would encourage their interest through the use of outside agencies. I would try to facilitate opportunities with the local college to introduce language to my middle school students and encourage further study to my high school students. Another resource I would use is World of Language, which is an outside agency that my high school uses to teach foreign language via Zoom. I would then advocate for younger use if necessary. A reflection I leave with you today is, typically foreign language study is not a part of standard curriculums until high school. How then could you support enrichment of a linguistically gifted student before that time? Thank you for your time and attention.